They called her the Shade of Vrynn. No one who saw her face lived long enough to describe it. Her reputation was legend, assassin, ghost, weapon of the Syndicate. She'd ended wars with a whisper and toppled empires before breakfast. And now she was standing in front of me. My name is Captain Elias Merrick, Terran Defense Fleet, dishonorably discharged for saving the wrong lives. I'd been scraping by as a salvaggio on the fringe worlds, where the law was a rumor and danger was currency. When I first spotted the wreck drifting near the edge of Delta 9 Nebula, I thought it was just another derelict cruiser. Easy payday. But when I scanned it, the system nearly fried from the energy signature, stealth tech, quantum dampeners, Syndicate code. That was when I should have left. But I didn't. Inside, the ship was eerily quiet, too quiet for a wreck that recent. The air recyclers were still running. The lights flickered like dying fireflies. Then I found her. She was slumped against the corridor wall, her armor cracked, her breathing shallow. Silver-black blood trickled from a wound across her ribs. Vrynn physiology. I didn't recognize her at first. None till I saw the blade she still clutched, etched with a red sigil I'd seen only in classified briefings. The Shade. The galaxy's most feared killer. Every instinct screamed to leave her. But I didn't move. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was stupidity. Or maybe it was something else, the faintest sound I heard when I leaned closer. She was whispering. A name. My name. Middle. The secrets beneath the armor. I dragged her back to my ship, the Nomad's wing, patched her wound as best I could, and locked her in the med bay with enough stasis field to hold a small moon. For the next 6 hours, I watched her through the glass, muscles twitching under scarred skin, eyes fluttering beneath heavy lids. She looked almost human. When she woke, I was ready with my blaster. Her gaze snapped to me instantly. Black and silver irises focused, unblinking, cold. "Where am I?" she rasped. Her voice was hoarse, yet melodic. "You're on my ship," I said. "I found you half dead in a Syndicate wreck. You're lucky I didn't vent you out the airlock." She tilted her head. "Why didn't you?" I didn't have an answer. "You said my name," I replied. "Before you passed out." Her eyes darkened. For the first time, I saw hesitation like a crack in armor that wasn't physical. "I know who you are, Captain Merrick," she said slowly. "You were on Cynos Station 5 years ago." Cynos. The word hit me like a slug round. 5 years ago, the Syndicate had razed that station. Thousands dead, including the research team I'd been sent to protect. I'd survived, barely, after dragging a dozen civilians to escape pods while the station burned. I never knew why the attack ended so suddenly. The killers just stopped. And now this woman, this assassin, was telling me she'd been there. "You were there?" I said through clenched teeth. "I was sent to kill everyone on that station," she replied. "But I didn't. Because of you." My hand tightened around the blaster. "You're lying." "No," she whispered. "You shielded a Vrynn child. My sister. You covered her with your own body when the plasma storm hit. I watched you risk your life for a species you didn't even understand. I couldn't complete the mission." Her voice trembled slightly. It didn't sound like the voice of a murderer anymore. "I remembered your face. Your name. I never forgot. I should have felt anger. Or fear. Instead, all I felt was confusion and something darker underneath." "What do you want from me?" I asked. She met my gaze. "I want to understand why." Middle, Part 2. Trust and Shadows. Over the next few days, the assassin, she finally told me her name was Rael, helped repair the ship. She was sharper than any engineer I'd met. When she moved, it was like watching a storm dance. Calculated, powerful, dangerous. Yet there were moments quiet, fleeting, where something human showed through. She stared too long at the stars. She laughed, once, when I burned my hand on a plasma coil. And every night, she asked questions. About Earth, about humanity, about compassion. "You act as if pain gives you purpose," she said one evening as I recalibrated the NAV system. "Maybe it does," I replied. "Pain means you still feel something." She looked away. On Vrynn, we are taught that emotion is weakness, that mercy kills faster than any weapon. I met her eyes. "Then maybe your people have it backward." That earned me silence. But her jaw softened, and I caught her studying me like she was seeing me, not the soldier, not the human, for the first time. Days turned into weeks. The syndicate started hunting for their missing assassin. Every relay station blared wanted alerts. They called her a traitor. "You could turn me in," she said one night. "You'd be rich." "Yeah," I said quietly, "but I'd rather keep my mechanic." That made her smile. Just barely. It was strange, the peace we found in that drifting exile, two broken beings from opposite ends of the galaxy. I'd saved her life. She'd saved my soul. But peace never lasts long in the void. Climax, the choice. We were ambushed near the Carthos Belt, a syndicate cruiser, fully armed, led by someone Vrynn clearly knew. The hail came through audio only. "Elias of Vrynn. You dishonor your blood. Return, or the human dies screaming." Elias's face was unreadable, but her hands trembled. "I can fight," I said. "We can run." "No," she whispered. "They'll track you forever. I have to end this." Before I could stop her, she slipped into her armor, matte black, carved with the crimson sigil I'd seen before. The shade had returned. "Don't go out there alone," I said. "You'll die." She turned to me. "Then I will die free." And before the airlock sealed, she looked at me one last time, eyes soft, voice barely audible. "You once shielded me from death. Let me return that gift." The battle outside was chaos. Plasma fire streaking across the void, metal screaming under pressure. I watched helplessly from the viewport as she tore through enemy fighters with impossible grace. But the cruiser's main gun charged, a blast meant to vaporize both her and the Nomad's wing. I slammed my hands on the console, rerouting power to the shields. Come on. Then her voice crackled through the comms. "Elias. You wanted to know why I whispered your name?" "Vrynn. Because you reminded me what life was worth." And then, with a blinding flash, her ship collided with the cruiser's reactor. The explosion lit up the entire belt like a newborn star, ending the whisper that stayed. They called it a syndicate disaster. No one knew what really happened, except me. Weeks later, I drifted above a barren moon, staring at the stars through the cockpit glass. The quiet was deafening. Her armor, what was left of it, sat on the co-pilot's chair. I'd salvaged it from the debris field. A single marking was etched on the chest plate, the same crimson sigil, crossed out. I replayed her final transmission again and again. You reminded me what life was worth. Maybe she was gone. Maybe she wasn't. Some nights, when I drift near the outer systems, I hear whispers on the comms, static patterns shaped like a voice. Her voice. And sometimes, when the stars align just right, I swear I hear it again. Elias. The galaxy's most feared killer, whispering my name,